Audience. In today's society, people are more adverse to going outside than they've ever been. In the 1950s and 1970s, when children were born, they were sent outside until dinner time when parents rang the dinner bell, and they were out there doing God knows what. But now we're in a different time, and things are a bit more dangerous, and parents are more concerned about their children's well-being concerning the outdoors. A lot of people don't have the benefit of living somewhere where they can actually just go in their backyard and spend a significant amount of time outdoors. Many people now are almost in poverty. Everyone is kind of losing money as time goes on, and the economy is really rough, and so a lot of people are living in apartments and apartment complexes, and because of that, children don't really have the access to the outdoors that they used to. Technology is on the rise, which is another reason that children and adults aren't spending as much time outside as they used to. It's about 50% of young people alone say that they're addicted to their cell phones, which makes them almost introverts. It makes them want to stay inside. It makes them feel like you can just go on the computer, you can just go on the television, you can just text on your phone for hours and hours at a time and still feel like you're spending a significant amount of time doing things instead of going outside. 20 years ago, when children wanted to do something, they didn't go on YouTube for hours. They went outside and threw rocks at each other. And now everything is different, and it's a different society, and it's making us very indoor-oriented, and we're losing a lot of concepts that we used to have when we were in a different times. It's affecting our mental health along with our physical health. Children, for one, are being diagnosed with ADHD more and more often. It's become almost an epidemic. They are in such a lack of being outside that it's almost creating the ADHD for them, because being outside can actually stimulate your concentration, and it's part of what helps you build concentration as you become an adult. And because children aren't spending as much time out there, they're not progressing and developing mentally the way they should be. Studies have shown that children who take a walk right before they go and take a test actually score way higher on their tests as opposed to children who didn't take that walk. This is just one example of how children are affected by not spending enough time outside. Another effect of not spending enough time outside is that people are more vitamin D deficient than they've ever been. Vitamin D is the vitamin that is produced when your skin is in contact with the sun. Vitamin D helps build your immune system, it helps keep you healthy, it helps keep you happy. In many different ways, vitamin D is one of the most important vitamins that we get, and similarly, it's the most common one that we're missing. Vitamin D is kind of like a bodyguard. It's what is keeping you healthy at all times. It's what builds your immune system and what keeps you healthy. And that's not just physical health, that's mental health too. Because more and more people are vitamin D deficient, more and more people are becoming depressed and becoming anxious and becoming all of these different health effects. More people now than ever are depressed. The depression rates in the United States right now are rising more than they've ever been. Another reason that people need to spend more time outside is because, similar to the depression concept, we aren't getting enough light, which is, again, similar to the vitamin D, but patients that have been put in situations where they have to stay in darkness for most times of their day, compared to patients who were put in light situations, show more response to the light. Meaning that if you have depression, you kind of need to spend more time in lighter environments, because the dark, dreary, depressing, indoor environment is just negative. It's just poor for your health. It's just bad for what's going on upstairs if something's not right. You need to spend more time underneath the sun because the light actually is part of what cures depression. That's part of one of the only things that can actually help you. And being outside, you're going to experience lightness because there's the sun, obviously. And another obvious thing that I think people don't really think about is that the oxygen and the air you're breathing outside is much clearer than the air and the oxygen you're breathing while you're inside. When you're inside, all of the plants in the outdoors are completely cut off from you. You can have plants in your house, but it's not the same. You don't have a tree growing in the middle of your living room, and all of the plants that are living outside are creating oxygen over and over and over again. They're breathing in your carbon dioxide and they're breathing back out oxygen to you. And oxygen is it's our life force. That's what we have to breathe that or we die. And if we're not getting enough of that oxygen, we are going to be more likely to have bad physical health. We're going to be more likely to have bad mental health. We're going to be more likely to be unhealthy in all ways. And probably it seems so obvious that we need to spend time outside, but it's such a horrible lack right now in society. More people are concerned with whether or not their shoes are going to get dirty, whether or not they're going to get a tick. There's not really a lot to worry about. Obviously, ticks are something you need to worry about, but you need to go outside. You have to spend time out there or else you're not going to be healthy. Studies have shown that you have to spend a minimum of 25 minutes a day outside just to be healthy, just to have the minimum health effects. And if you're barely even getting that, then how do you expect to be at your best health? Your mental health is going to go downhill, your physical health is going to go downhill, and as soon as one goes, the other pretty much goes with it. So everyone needs to start spending more time outside. Follow these guidelines. Here's my audience.